boring. Where you can feast with the nectar of the gods. You'll always have a seat at Norse Hall.
Welcome everybody to Top Dog Coverage, where you can find some of the best news with football, fantasy football, some of your best football, some of my football, some of your football. But if you have not followed us so far, follow us at Top Dog Coverage on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. C-Dub, how you feeling today, baby?
Fantabulous, brother. Ready to get after it today.
Nice. And if you guys have not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, send us some comments. Make sure you swipe up on Spotify, iTunes, Apple, whatever it is. Leave us a comment, hit the 5 stars. Let us know that we're driving you in the right direction like an Uber. That way we can get started on this journey we call fantasy football, this journey we call football, this journey we call NFL primetime, baby. Woo!
For sure.
Another day closer, my friend.
It's getting here fast. We're in week 2 of the preseason.
Yeah, man.
Got here quick.
Yeah, man. It doesn't stop, it doesn't end, and it comes quicker than you think. So in case anybody is wondering, we put out a new episode as much as we can right now, because we're in crunch time. Season is upon us. The Wheel of Destiny does not stop for anybody. Okay, and we have some impatient fans. That's okay. Your team will come upon us, and we will do their predictions, so you can be extremely dissatisfied. So, with that being said, we are also trying to make sure that new fantasy football players. Okay, we put out a brand new episode specifically for you guys and girls, for new people that want to join fantasy football. And that's what we did. We put one out. You guys put your stamp on it, and you said, hey, we want to hear an NFL fantasy football for beginners, and that's what we gave you. So me and C-Dub, we put together a small little outline, nothing crazy, nothing too fancy, but that's just so you guys can have some fun during this football season that is quickly approaching. Shout outs to Norse-Hall.com, baby, and FGM Label. You want a tight beat? You want some nice music in the background? Maybe you got a show, maybe you're a hip-hop artist? Go to FGM Label on Instagram. Make sure you hit the like button on his. Follow him. He's got some dope beats, and seems like everything's back to normal. Oh, this match. Ooh.
Yeah.
Matches the shirt I got on. Shout out to Celsius. Yeah, shout out to Celsius here.
Soon to be sponsor in the near future.
They don't know it yet, but they need us. Ugh.
Something like that.
But you know what does need us? The news, man. C-Dub, there's so much to talk about. So let's start with the Eagles and left tackle Landon Dickerson, who's going to undergo meniscus surgery.
Left guard. I don't want you to get taken out by the mob like I did.
So Eagles left guard Landon Dickerson to undergo meniscus surgery. The best case scenario has emerged for Dickerson. Everybody thought it was extremely terrible, and minor surgery will take place soon. That is a That is a sign of goodness right there. Depending on how Dickerson recovers, he could be available for week 1, if not a short-term timetable is in place for him to be back in the fold. So Landon Dickerson was carted off the field with the right leg injury during practice on Sunday, and it quickly became clear testing would be needed on Monday to determine the extent of the injury. The latest update on the matter comes from McManus colleague Adam Schefter, who reports Dickerson is believed to have suffered a meniscus injury in his right knee. The next step for all involved will include additional opinions being sought out to determine the best course of action. That, in turn, will determine how long the Pro Bowler will be sidelined. So hopefully he returns healthy and very, very quickly. So tough to lose a guy like that. You know what I mean? But hopefully he's coming back soon. So
Yeah, absolutely. And still, we'll stick with the unfortunate news. This time coming out of Dolphins camp. So their running back that they signed a free agency, Alexander Madison, will be unavailable for the 2025 NFL season. He had to go. He had to undergo season-ending neck surgery. So he was injured during the preseason game against the Bears and was transported by ambulance to a Chicago hospital. Reported by Adam Schefter. And the procedure took place shortly thereafter once he got to the hospital. So that kind of just leaves the Dolphins kind of short in the backfield. So with him hitting injury reserve and missing the season, you have Raheem Mostert, who is now in Las Vegas, and Jeff Wilson, who recently signed with the 49ers. You are just left with Devon Achane, Jalen Wright, and 6th-round rookie draft pick Ollie Gordon in the backfield. So,
well, we hope he has a speedy recovery. That is a very, very serious injury as well. A lot more serious than we've had so far. So that and what happened at the Lions and Falcons game. So moving over to Cameron Hayward from the Pittsburgh Steelers, willing to miss games over a contract dispute. Okay, so Cameron Hayward's sudden hold-in could lead to regular season absences. While speaking with reporters today, the Steelers defensive lineman hinted that he'd be willing to sit out regular season games as he pursues a revised deal. So I think there are definitely options out there that could reflect that, Hayward said. So Steelers defensive tackle is seeking a Steelers contract adjustment. He said, I'm looking to be valued. I know that I bring to this team. I know what I bring to this team and what I'm capable of on and off the field. It's hard for me after the year I've had to justify playing at the number I'm playing at. It was only a year ago that the Steelers tacked on a $2 million, $29 million extension to the veteran's expiring contract coming off of one of the least productive seasons of his career in 2023. Hayward reverted back to his all-pro play in 2024. The likely future Hall of Famer finished last season with 71 tackles, 8 sacks, and 20 QB hits, leading to an all-pro nod. So Hayward is ready to get paid, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, deservedly so. I mean, he might be a little bit older, but he still plays at a high level despite the down year last year.
Yep. And in case nobody's really looking at this, Hayward also claimed that he warned the organization that he'd want to return to the negotiation table if he quickly outperformed his extension. And Hayward said that the front office, quote unquote, giggled at his notion, providing motivation for his comeback performance in 2024. So there you go.
All right. Well, we got some more unfortunate news coming out of Green Bay. So this is according to Rob Demovsky, who covers the Packers for ESPN. Basically, Packers GM Brian Gutekunst said quarterback Jordan Love is undergoing a procedure on his left thumb. It's a ligament issue, which is why he had it taped yesterday in practice. And the hope is for Love to return to practice next week. If not, the hope is that he will be ready to go by week 1. So some pretty substantial news at the quarterback position for Green Bay Packers there.
Yeah. Moving over to other QB news. The Jets QB Tyrod Taylor undergoes knee scope surgery. Okay, so the Jets quarterback depth will be limited through their remaining training camp practices and the preseason games. So Tyrod Taylor is recovering from a knee scope. Head coach Aaron Glenn said on Tuesday. Taylor is set to miss the rest of the preseason while rehabbing, but the Jets are hopeful he will be able to recover in time for week 1. The 36-year-old is slated to handle backup duties behind Justin Fields in the 2025 season, the first season of the new regime featuring Glenn and general manager Darren Muji. That duo's success will be closely tied to Fields and his ability to provide stable quarterback play over at least the near term.
Yeah, pretty big news there.
Yeah, you need him there. You need him there, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And we got, man, I just feel like I'm the kind of Grim Reaper with all this bad news. But receiver Rondale Moore is going to miss the 2025 NFL season. So originally it was reported that he had an injury to his left knee during the preseason opener against the Texans. So Kevin O'Connell kind of called the situation heartbreaking before the MRI results. But essentially, he destroyed his left knee, which is kind of similar to what happened to him last season when he signed with the Falcons. He actually destroyed his right knee. So he had just become healthy enough to get back on the field, signed with the Vikings in free agency, but he's going to be missing the whole season, unfortunately. So receiver Rondale Moore is going to be on ice for the 2025 NFL season.
And this, and not for nothing, this is what happens during training camp and preseasons, and this is why it's good to have depth, because going right over to the Chargers, again, another devastating injury. The Chargers confirmed the torn patellar tendon for left tackle Rashawn Slater. Harbaugh confirmed that Joe Alt will replace Rashawn Slater on the blind side, with Pipkins taking over at right tackle. The Chargers are also planning to work out some offensive linemen this weekend to find out another swing tackle. They'll also get a chance to evaluate Sawyer, who is starting Sunday's preseason game at left tackle. So Rashawn Slater was carted off the field during Thursday's practice. Hours later, the worst-case scenario emerged. Testing on the Chargers franchise left tackle indicates he will not play in 2025. Slater is feared to have a suffered torn patellar tendon. The team has since confirmed Slater suffered the tear. This is a brutal blow for Slater and the Chargers, who indicated the Pro Bowl tackle is heading to the IR right after he just signed his massive deal.
That's really unfortunate news there. I mean, that's tough. You get the big, huge bag, you get paid all that money, and then unfortunately you get one of those freak injuries, goes down for the season. I mean, and
Yep.
Also, side note, apologize to Chargers fans for the Keenan Allen news. I stated that he was released by the Chargers, where in fact he was actually traded for a 4th-round pick to Chicago. So apologize for the misinformation out there.
That's all right. Everybody's only going to tell you what you did wrong, never what you did right.
But I give love to Chargers fans. They want to make sure that I knew what actually happened. So.
Hey man, I like to think that we get a little bit of leeway at times. We go through a lot of information. I mean, do we not? We go through a ton of information.
Too much sometimes. Sometimes it's information overload, but you know.
Yeah, I think it's all right to get a couple things wrong. But yeah, we do apologize to Chargers fans. We know how LA people can be. Sorry, I had to shoot that one in there.
Dang, all right.
It happens. East Coast, West Coast, you know how it is.
I mean, that's all the news, though, right? I mean, that's
everything. That's almost record-breaking time. We got through it pretty well.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Yeah. That's because we cut out all the Saints news that we didn't really care about. That I think I'm the only one that cares about out there. So
I highly doubt that. There are people that care. C-Dub. All right, so shall we go?
I think it's time. We take the next step.
It's time for Wheel of Destiny, baby.
Magic Conch.
Yep. Wheel of Destiny gets us every time, you know. And all right.
And this isn't rigged. Like you're not already pre-selecting it.
No. Let's not have anybody think otherwise. We'll put
I
it
mean,
up on the big board for
you're seeing
everybody.
it
Right?
live. You're seeing it live and in person right here.
Yep. Okay, are we starting AFC, I guess, first?
Yeah.
All right.
Who's your guess?
I said the Chiefs. I think it's gonna be Chiefs today.
I'm going with Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Okay.
Feel it in the bones.
All right. All righty.
No way. No way. Oh.
It almost slipped right past it too.
Yeah,
All
it
right.
almost landed right on the Dolphins. Okay.
That is very, very close. Look.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I demand a respin. That's crazy.
You demand a respin?
That's right in the middle.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'll give you a respin. If it lands on it again.
Oh wait. No, let's go with the Raiders. I got
Raiders?
a lot
Okay,
of few Raiders fans out there. A lot of my good friends are Raiders fans. So
okay, Raiders.
this is for them.
Raiders
for you
it
guys.
is. Okay. All right. So Raiders are in. All right. And I said the Packers, I believe.
Yeah, I said the Vikings. So we haven't done an NFC East team yet. That's kind of interesting.
I don't think so.
All right, yeah. Yeah, I guess I got Vikings. Who are we gonna pair with the Raiders?
I got one.
Oh, Green Bay?
I got one.
Yeah.
Yahoo!
Two storied franchises. Green Bay and Las Vegas.
All right.
Fun stuff, man. This is cool.
All right. And here we go. All right. So
Las Vegas.
That go to the Raiders first?
Yeah, let's do the Raiders first.
All right, cool.
This is for all the scallywags, the pirates out there.
For all the scallywags. Well,
we're not Bucks, we're Raiders.
Well, let's get to the brand new head coach, brand new offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. Everybody's new here. All right, so
even new GM, Spy Tech.
Yeah, everybody's new here, so this is going to be interesting. They got a lot of people on defense that they filled in here, and they made some draft picks, some very good draft picks, some wide receiver draft picks. Obviously, Ashton Genty.
All right, before we dive too deep into the roster, let me ask you a question about the Raiders. Okay.
Yeah.
So they have a new minority owner that has stake within the organization.
Okay.
Won by the Mr. Brady, Mr. Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
How much of an impact do you think he's having on the organization as a whole right now?
I think bigger than people think. He's out there on the field.
Well, he's not playing.
No, but he's out there on the field during practices.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty common, right? You see ownership out on the field checking stuff out.
Sometimes, but I mean, like, I don't think he wants to waste time. I think he understands that. Look, he's
a vampire, so he has nothing but time.
Yeah, that's all he's got. But I mean, like, they got one of the best running backs in the league or in the draft here. You know what I mean? They got.
I would argue the best running back in the draft.
Yeah. So, and they picked up a lot of offensive line or a good amount of offensive linemen, 3 wide receivers in this draft, a backup quarterback. Like, I think he's ready to go, and he understands the reset button that they had and the coach that came with it. So I think a bigger impact than most people think.
Yeah, and I think also I'm sure he signed up on trading for Geno too. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Carroll was like, "Hey, this was my guy in Seattle. He can still ball. Like, let's go get him." if he's available.
Yeah.
And I think with a 6th-round pick, I mean that's pretty similar to Brady's career too, right? He was a 6th-rounder that everybody
Yeah.
always talked about. So I mean, Cam Miller, he had definitely a say in that drafting him. But I like to think that he's having a positive impact on the organization because you see the different type of moves that the Raiders are making.
Yeah.
And I know they play in one of the toughest divisions in the NFL, but I really, really like a lot of what they're doing to be competitive this year.
Yeah. I can see that.
So, but let's get into it. I was just curious on your thoughts on the Brady effect within there.
Yeah, no, I honestly I think he's out there and he wants to get this. He doesn't want to have it start off slow. I really don't think that he wants that. And I think he understands who they have on the field and the rookies that they have on there. Because if you think about it, they have 10 rookies, 11 rookies. That's
Yeah,
it.
10,
Just
11.
that were drafted.
Yeah, I think they had like 11 picks.
That's a lot.
Like
I think I think he's making an impact over there. And I want to ask you, what do you think? What's your first camp battle that you like?
Well, really starting out to look at this, I want to go to the defensive side of the football. I think that's Pete Carroll's kind of specialty, right?
Mm-hmm.
He kind of helped create that Legion of Boom and has been a great defensive mind, not only in the NFL, but when his time is USC and whatnot. He brought over a lot of guys that's kind of been in his system before or that he's played against, right? So you bring in, we'll start from the defensive backfield. You bring in Eric Stokes. You bring in Jeremy Chin. Bring in Devin White, Jalen Smith, Landon Roberts, Jermaine Pratt, Jamal Adams. You trade for Thomas Brooker IV. You bring in Leaky Fotu, right? So you bring in a bunch of guys that have come from different organizations, but the big kind of common theme with them is they're really good athletes.
Yeah.
Right. So Jermaine Pratt coming over from Cincinnati. I mean, yeah, Cincinnati's defense wasn't that great last year, but he's still a really good linebacker. He can still put the guys in positions of where they need to be. He's pretty sound in terms of his coverage and in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
Landon Roberts coming over from Pittsburgh, another guy that you have in the middle linebacker, guy with the green dot that can kind of call the defense.
Yeah.
To succeed. And Devin White coming over from Houston. I mean, he's a former LSU linebacker. He's kind of played everywhere. Tons of athleticism, extremely fast. But on top of that, you bring Jamal Adams in, but he's not playing safety. You bring him in down to play more linebacker. And did you get a chance to watch the Seattle and Las Vegas game?
No, I didn't get to yet. I still got a lot that I have to get back to.
So
yeah,
Jamal
you know
Adams
me.
was flying around, kind of making some plays out there too. He looked good. He looked more comfortable in that type of role, which I think for at this stage in his career, I think he's going to be a better run defender than in pass coverage. Pass coverage was never really his forte, we'll say.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But you also have Jalen Smith coming over, who's been with Dallas, New Orleans, kind of all over the board. But I really like you kind of completely change that linebacker room to kind of fit what Pete Carroll wants to do on defense.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a really good chance that they can bring that energy of the new Legion of Boom, you know?
Yeah. I mean, one draft pick, I know we want their first round pick is amazing, and we'll get to him and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But their third rounder, Darian Porter, I mean, he's a long, super athletic freak at corner. Right? He's 6'3", right under 200 pounds, I think. Ran like a 4.2 something at the combine.
Yeah.
So he can fast. He's fast. He's got those long arms. So he's kind of, more recently like that Tariq Woolen over there in Seattle, a faster kind of Richard Sherman type deal. I think he's a little bit better in man coverage coming out of the draft than Sherman was, but you kind of see the vision with what he's trying to build over there with their defensive backs, because you also have Darian Porter, Jeremy Chin coming over from Washington, who's another 6'3", 211, 220 pound defender back there at strong safety.
Mhm.
But Eric Stokes, I mean, that's another guy with a little bit of good size, good length to him, coming over from Green Bay. So yeah, you really start to see that vision of the Legion of Boom and the talent that they're adding around, because you can't just be Max Crosby rushing the passer.
No.
Right? That's kind of been their downfall over the last few seasons, is they haven't had the talent or the athletes on defense. So I'm really excited to see who ends up being the starter at the Will, Mike, and Sam linebacker spots,
Mhm.
and see how this secondary shakes out. Is Eric Stokes going to come in, take that number 2 job? Is Darren Porter going to come in and be their cornerback 1? I mean, you got some talent. You got big play Darnay Holmes coming over from the Giants as their nickel back. You got a lot of good talent in the secondary.
I really like this Jeremy Chin over there, man. Like that. It's a bit to me. It's a big sign. I like Jeremy Chin.
Yeah,
I think he was.
it's a good tone setter.
Yeah,
He's a
he
big
really is.
hitter. He can run, decent in coverage.
And Jermaine Pratt went right over. Like as soon as he was released, dude, went right over to right over to the Raiders, and I
It was
think that was.
fast.
And not for nothing, I'm not saying that Jamal Adams is like spectacular anymore, but he does bring attitude into that depth of the will linebackers. So, and they can utilize him in any kind of different roles and stuff like that. He might not be the player that he used to be, but he definitely brings energy, and that's kind of what they need over there.
Yeah, I forgot. They also signed Terrell Edmonds, the former first rounder coming over from Pittsburgh. So they signed him to kind of add some more depth to that secondary, since Lonnie Johnson Jr. Was injured. So he added more depth to that secondary.
Yeah, and not to mention bringing in JJ Pegues in that 6th round. This is a dude that Kenneth was raving about. 6'2", 325 pounds. This kid from Mississippi, the
Ole
defensive
Miss,
tackle.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he also played fullback for them. I think he scored like 5 or 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's wild, man. Like this is, they're loading up. This is what I like about what they're doing right now. They're loading up. They got all the guys that they needed, however many years they got them, and they drafted into the depth, and they're ready for it. And with that, I want to take that over to the depth of the offensive line. Okay. This offensive line is better than people think. Okay. The offensive line that they have, like the worst player that they have is like mid-range in the NFL. Okay. And that's DJ Glaze. He's not the best. He can get beaten and everything, but everybody else is ranked pretty high. I don't want to say like they're the best of the best, but this offensive line definitely has some bullies on it. And I think that they're building their depth with this offensive line. They have an idea of what they want to do. And I mean, you're talking maybe 1 or 2 people that are just around halfway good in the NFL. Like, you know what I mean? As far as tackles and guards go, everybody else you're talking about in the teens out of 80 of these guys. That's pretty damn good. And then you have a brand new running back that's ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I mean, you signed Colton Miller to that extension. I mean, he's probably one of the premier left tackles in the league. Dylan Parham, a 3rd-round pick in 2022. You pair Caleb Rogers, a 3rd-round pick in this year's draft, with that. Yeah. Charles Grant coming over from William and Mary. I mean, he was pretty athletic. He was getting quite a bit of buzz. This previous draft class. So a guy that can kind of learn and develop behind Colton Miller. Also probably be that swing tackle to step in if there are any type of injuries or anything along the offensive line. Jackson Powers Johnson, or JPJ. I mean, he was one of the top centers at Oregon, kind of built like SpongeBob, so to speak. But him slotting in over there at right guard.
Yeah.
Again, like you say, he's a bully.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to kind of open up those holes. And DJ Glaze, this will be his 2nd season as a former 3rd rounder from the last year's draft class. So if he can continue on that development and hold down that right side, and I think this has the makings where it could be a really, really solid offensive line.
It really, really does. And I think it's quiet. I don't think people really understand that they also drafted Charles Grant in the third round and Caleb Rogers in the third round. You know, like you were saying, these are some big bodies, and they're getting ready again they're putting it into depth. They're getting it ready for the future. And they just did the same thing with the defense. I think they're trying to do this thing right. I'm excited to see what this offensive line can do. I wouldn't say look too far into that preseason game. They're just getting their feet wet, and I really do think that they can do some damage here with that offensive line.
Yeah, let's talk about that preseason game, because you have Ashton Jeanty, who they took in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 6th or 7th overall, somewhere around that range.
Yeah.
And the big headlines was he had 3 carries for -1 yards or whatever. So everyone's making this joke like, oh, you're not running against the Mountain West Conference. You're not doing this and that. Like, shut up. Like, nobody cares. This is preseason. You're going out there to obviously learn more about the system, kind of put some stuff on tape for some of the guys that are trying to fight for roster spots. Ashton Jeanty is not fighting for a roster spot. He is one of the top running back prospects that we've seen in the last few years. He's not quite on the Bijan level, but he's up there, right? Mm-hmm. This dude can run, catch. He's got a great low center of gravity, great balance contact. So all Raiders fans should be extremely happy with the Jeanty pick. I think he's going to be an absolute stud, and they're going to want to feed him the ball. That this is going to be Pete Carroll's version of Marshawn Lynch, right? This is going to be the bell cow that he can lean on, take some pressure off Geno Smith, and open up some things in the passing game because they're worried about Jeanty in the backfield.
Yeah.
Don't care that he had negative yards in his first preseason game. Don't care at all.
Yeah. Let's I want to move to something else too with this.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what these new wide receivers can bring. Dante Thornton Jr., Jack Besh, and Tommy Mellott.
Tommy Mallow.
Sorry. Yeah, I always mess up his name.
Yeah. He's the former quarterback. He's converting to receiver.
There you go.
So he's a pretty good athlete. But, yeah, I think you add a lot of talent to this receiver room. So you have Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker coming back from last year. But Dante Thornton Jr., I mean, he's a speedster coming out of Tennessee. Mm-hmm. I believe he's 6'4", over 200 pounds.
Yeah, it's big body.
Dude can fly.
Yeah.
Right? You pair that. So you put that kind of athlete at receiver. You pair that with Jack Besh, who's more of that route technician. Really great hands, catching traffic. He actually started his career out at LSU as a tight end, transferred to TCU, converted receiver. So
not for nothing, 6'1", 215 pounds. That's a good size to 6'1".
Mm-hmm.
That's a bruising 6'1".
Yeah, and Jack Besh is one of those guys you can root for. I mean, unfortunately, he had the tragedy that happened down in New Orleans, where he lost his brother in the tragedy down there on New Year's Day, excuse me. So that's another guy that you want to root for. Won the Senior Bowl MVP, great route technician, and it's just I'm really excited to see what he can do in this offense.
Yeah. I wanna take one other look at a position here, and that's about it. And that's the tight end spot. We all know that Brock Bowers is starting tight end. That's hands down. We all know that Michael Mayer is.
But you don't like Brock Bowers, so.
It's not that I don't like him.
There we go.
No, here we see
don't
you
lie
want
to
to instigate.
Don't
you
lie
want
to
instigate. Don't make me pick Brock Bowers and then if I have the turn, I'll take Brock Bowers and McBride. Okay, don't make me do it.
Here we go.
I'll put them in a flex, both of them, and everybody will suffer the consequences.
It's not bad in tight end premium.
It really isn't if you think about the targets. Like the targets would be enormous.
Yeah.
No, this is if you look at it, it's a very, very talented tight end room. If you look at it, you got Brock Bowers, you have Michael Mayer, and you have Ian Thomas from Carolina. That's really, really good depth. Let's just say in case Brock Bowers goes down, you still have Michael Mayer. You still have you still have Ian Thomas there. Like that's some pretty good depth in there, and I just think that should be noted. The fact that they have very, very skilled tight ends that are just chilling there in the depth spot. That's not something that every team has, is depth like that in that in that area.
Yeah.
So
no, before we move on to the schedule predictions, stuff like that, I do want to talk a little bit about Geno Smith. I feel like could feel a little slighted being traded from Seattle to Las Vegas, but I think this is a great spot for him, right? I think he's got a ton of talent surrounded by him. They've made a lot of improvements on the offensive line. The defense is going to be a lot better. This is a system where he can kind of thrive in.
Yeah.
Where he's not going to necessarily be asked to throw, for 4,000 or 5,000 yards, right? But, I believe he's 34, 35 years old. But the 6th-round flyer that you take on Cam Miller, who is actually a really good athlete at North Dakota State, he can throw, he can run around. It's a really good developmental piece that can kind of learn the game and develop behind Geno Smith. So I kind of like that 1-2 punch that they got at quarterback in the draft and via the trade.
Yeah.
With Aiden O'Connell kind of being that right now, that second guy, but having Miller to develop on the bench and learn from a seasoned vet and a guy that's been around for a really long time and has played at a high level. So I'm excited for what Geno Smith is going to bring to the Raiders this year.
I think it's great right before the game.
Got the double birds going.
Double birds for being compared to Jamarcus Russell. He responded by holding up 2 middle fingers.
And he was telling them that they're number 2.
You know what? Fire it up, Geno. Good for you, buddy. And that's coming from the guy that had you as a QB at one point. So fire it up, baby. I'm excited to see it.
What's funny is we're talking about the Raiders and their camp battles and whatnot, but it's hard to kind of move on without giving a little bit of love to Max Crosby, one of the best pass rushers in the league.
He's like, dude, he is. You're my quarterback. Let's do this. All right. You know what? Screw that guy. That's kind of what he's saying too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Max Crosby is definitely a guy you want on your team.
And I'm going to say this right now to all the Seahawks fans that are, dude, Geno Smith was 28 and 24 while he was your starting quarterback. So you can't say that the guy was bad. He brought you to, I don't know how many playoffs, but he brought him to a couple playoffs, no?
Sure. I don't know.
1, 2, something like that. So. I forget, but
not last
little
year.
Little over 500. Okay, 28 and 24. So again, going back to what the other person had told me that he's trash. And okay, well,
28 and 24 is the right word.
I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. I think there's a lot of Seahawks fans that are bitter right now, and they're upset that they don't have Geno Smith anymore. And, I mean, they should be happy that they have Sam Darnold, but they shouldn't hate the fact that Geno's gone. I think there's a little bittersweet action going on over there. But let's go over to
schedule predictions,
baby. All right, let's do it. We will. Boom. All right. The Raiders. Let's see what the Raiders got right off the bat. All right. The Raiders, week 1, go to the New England Patriots. I believe that the Raiders are actually going to take a dub on this one. So they're going to win right off the bat against the Patriots. Week 2, they're going to have a hard task in front of them, hosting the Chargers. The Chargers, I believe, are going to come in and they're going to take a win against the Raiders. So I'm going to take the Chargers. Week 3, the Raiders go against Washington in Washington. I think Washington is ready and set to go. I'm going to take Washington. Week 4, The Raiders are hosting the Chicago Bears. I'm going to go ahead and take the Raiders week 4 at home. Week 5, they go to visit Indianapolis Colts. I believe that the Raiders are going to take one on the road. Week 6, they're hosting the Tennessee Titans. I believe that the Raiders are going to take a W at home against the Tennessee Titans. Week 7, this could be a little fluky. I believe that the Raiders are going to take a loss here, visiting the Kansas City Chiefs right before their bye, and that will put them at a 5-2 record a 4-2 record before their bye, 4-3 record. Week 9 coming back, they're going to go against the Jaguars. I actually see the Jaguars kind of pulling this one out, so I'm going to take the Jaguars on the road here. Week 10, the Denver Broncos. They are going to be hosting the Las Vegas Raiders, and Las Vegas is going to take a. I hate to say this. They're going to take an L on this one. Week 11, the Raiders. They're hosting the Cowboys. I believe that they're actually going to take this W over the Cowboys. Okay, at home. Week 12, the Raiders hosting the Browns. They're going to take another W in a row after losing 3, so 2 in a row. Week 13, I think they're ready for the Chargers going to LA. I think they're going to take another W. 3 losses, 3 wins in a row. Guess what? They're ready for week 14, okay? They're hosting the Denver Broncos again. Denver Broncos come in, and guess what? They lose in Las Vegas, okay? Week 15, they get humbled by the Eagles traveling to the East Coast. The Raiders are going to lose against the Eagles are going to win against the Raiders. Week 16, the Raiders are going to be playing the Texans in Texas. I believe that the Texans are going to take the W on this one, okay? So I'm going to take an L with the Raiders. This is where it gets a little fluky. I think that the New York Giants are actually going to win against the Raiders in Week 17, okay? So give me the New York Giants. And then at the end of this, I also believe that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to take the win, very last one at home, Week 18 against the Raiders. That's going to give them a 9-8 record, the Las Vegas Raiders.
Did you have the Eagles winning or losing?
Sorry, losing.
All right.
8-9.
Cool. No worries. I thought I heard you right. I just want to make
sure. Yeah. I was just clicking it.
Cool. So 8-9.
That's going to piss some people off. That's cool. I'm pretty sure I said Oakland a couple times too. That's okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
Did I?
I think so, maybe.
I probably did. That's all right.
Yeah, it's all good. There we go.
Oh, that's going to piss some people off. That's going to be great.
8-9.
Yeah, I mean, there's some fluky stuff going on there. A couple of these could be, just you don't know.
Yeah.
I'm hesitant to say that they could actually win 1 or 2 more and be a 10-7 team.
They could be a French playoff team. Excuse me.
I'm telling you, man.
Sure.
Like say, let's just say for picks real quick, say they don't lose against the Giants, and they do take this last one here, because I really do think that they could split 1-1 and 1-1. But I'm gonna stick by.
Yeah, stick
by an 8-9 team.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
So we will go back.
Shout out to the Raiders fans.
Yeah, shout outs to the Raiders fans, baby. All right,
We're going
moving on
up to Green Bay. Get your jacket. It's cold up there, I heard.
It is cold. It's a cold place to be, my friend. Cold place to be. What is the one thing that you're looking at in this preseason? What do you want to see?
I mean, is it anything other than the receiving room?
Probably not. I think
that's kind of like their main training camp battle, and who is going to play receiver for this Green Bay Packers team? Yeah. Or how are the snaps going to shake out? Like, because you have Romeo Doubs returning, Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks. Mm-hmm. You have Christian Watson, who's hurt, so probably won't play much this year. You add first-round receiver Matthew Golden out of Texas, and you add third-round receiver Savion Williams from TCU. So, got a lot of talent in this receiving room.
Yeah. There certainly is. There is a ton, and Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden is right there, just ready to rock and roll. Savion Williams ready to rock and roll. Let's not forget. I think it's more of an attitude problem with him and a mindset, but he's in the depth chart behind Jaden Reed and Dontavian Wicks. But Miko Hardman is a speedster. He still can run. He still can run down the field. They have a ton of options in case any one of these guys go down.
Yeah, he's a good return man too, so
Yeah,
impact there. But you have Jaden Reed, who I believe was in a boot after the first preseason game, so kind of not sure if he's going to be available for week 1 or not. Romeo Dobbs, I guess technically was the kind of number 1 receiver last year.
Yeah.
So bring it, but I think this does open up the path for Matthew Golden to start immediately and kind of earn that receiver 1 role. I think he kind of has that skill set. He was a stud at Texas. He kind of took that number 1 spot there from Isaiah Bond, who had transferred over from Alabama. But I think Matthew Golden, he might not have elite size. He's about 5'11", a little over 200 pounds. But with that 4.29 speed, he can be a stud in this offense and kind of be the guy. I think the only thing that's kind of holding him back is he's rocking 22 at receiver. Not too many people can pull that off. Like,
no,
Rashid Shaheed's one of them. But I don't know, man. That being a receiver in the 20s, it doesn't look right to me. It's kind of one of those icks.
Yeah, I hear you. It's not too many people can do that.
That's the hard hitting analysis here at TDC, baby.
That's okay. That's all right. Yeah, I think I have issues about their offensive line. Even though
they've invested a lot in this offensive line.
They have. And they even have, like even Jordan Morgan, the first round pick from 2024, is now second on the depth chart. You know what I mean? So it's like you got Rasheed Walker, Aaron Banks from San Francisco, Elgton Jenkins, Sean Ryan, and obviously the one and only Zach Tom. Okay. Belton Anthony, who was drafted, 6'6", 336-pound, big old guy from North Carolina State. That's what they needed, and that obviously. But they also got somebody else in the 7th round for depth and such. So it's I think that they're going to work these guys out. That's going to be a little bit of a battle at camp, I believe. I think they're going to see who they have, what they can do with that, because they have a great running back in Josh Jacobs. Look, he had the worst schedule for running backs last year. The worst. The 32nd out of 32. Okay, 32 out of 32, and he still made it happen. Like, he looked like it didn't even faze him. Like, it wasn't even a problem. So it gets a little bit easier this year for them, and I'm interested to see how they can make it even simpler for Josh Jacobs. They have more weapons. Maybe they only have to use him on certain. Obviously, the run game is always the first thing you want to unfold. You know what I mean? So you can get the game rocking and rolling. But if you have some other weapons, some wide receivers you drafted, and some other people that you signed, you know what? Take a little pressure off of the run game. Let Josh Jacobs get a little healthy. Easier schedule. It'll be interesting.
And that's a Raiders connection right there. Josh Jacobs, formerly with the Las Vegas Raiders, signed that big free agent deal with Green Bay last year.
You see, the Wheel of Destiny always has its way.
It connects us all.
It does.
It's crazy. But I think the Jordan Love injury with that having surgery on that left thumb, talked about at the top of the show. Malik Willis looked really good in his spot duty last year when Love had that groin injury at the beginning of the season. So, I think the Packers are still in good hands as he continues his development. So, if for whatever reason Jordan Love is not available week 1, I still think they will be in a good spot based on what we saw from Malik Willis last year.
Fair enough. Did you know that our boy Lumpkin was on the Green Bay Packers?
Yes, we don't know Johnny Lumpkin. We know Sir Dennis.
We do. Probably his father. If anything. Probably his daddy.
Man.
Uh,
also, we look at the tight end room.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be much of a battle, but Luke
No.
Musgrave is healthy. Second round pick in 2023. Same year they took Tucker Kraft, who they took in the third round. So I think Tucker Kraft is kind of solidified as the starting tight end there. He's kind of the better all around receiving threat, blocker, everything.
What a size on that guy. 6'5", 260.
Talking about Kraft?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Musgrave is, he's around the same. He's 6'5", 255 pretty much, but he keeps getting hurt, man. He's got to stay on the field. He's got to stay healthy.
He had that back injury at Oregon State, which kind of really derailed him in his NFL career so far. I just feel like there's always been one thing after another. So hopefully he can stay healthy for the season, add some more value to that offense.
Yeah.
Earn some targets and whatnot. But I do like Tucker Kraft quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not? Especially in fantasy. Like he's a good late round pick in fantasy too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of mouths to feed in Green Bay, so it's kind of hard to which week is he gonna have a good week. But I think realistically, he's gonna get that high floor, so to speak.
Yeah.
So not something that you can miss out on,
Yeah, I mean, everything else that they have are very, very big depth pieces that they drafted in the 4th, 6th, and the 7th round with Mike Robinson, Warren Brinson, and Baron Sorrell. But other than that, they signed Isaiah Simmons. Not a bad signing for them at all with the will linebackers position and Nate Hobb. But there's not a lot of battling there to see who gets what there. Everything's pretty solidified. Everything else is pretty much on that offensive spot in the wide receiver area. So,
yeah, and I think one thing I want to discuss a little bit is this defense. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's something that I know you and I haven't talked about it too much.
Yep.
But this defense was really solid last year. I think they could be even better this year.
Yeah, they were ranked 12th last year, and it's weird. So they were like midfield last year, 15th, 16th ish, and their offense I think was top 10-ish around there. I think 9th, and their defense was around I think midfield, mid range, but maybe like 11th or 10th. No, they weren't. They didn't make top 10. No, they didn't make top 10, but they were somewhere hovering over there.
Well, I think this is Hafley's second season as defensive coordinator there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you had Nate Hobbs in the cornerback room from coming over from Vegas. Like you said, you had Isaiah Simmons, Nazir Stackhouse. He was the undrafted free agent from Georgia, I believe. I think we took a look at him during the scout school.
Yeah,
during Savage Scout School, and you had some kind of depth pieces across the board and some pass rushers. But I really like a lot of this depth. You have your entire defensive front, first round picks. Rashawn Gary in 2019, Kenny Clark in 2016, Devontae Wyatt in 2022, and Lucas Van Ness in 2023. So you've got a lot of talent on that defensive line.
Yeah.
Then you go to the second level. You go to your linebackers. First round pick, Quay Walker in 2022. Second round pick, Edrin Cooper in 2024. Then you just have so much depth and so much talent on that front seven. I still think they're going to be able to come in, make a lot of noise. I don't know what their schedule looks like this year, but I do like a lot of the pieces they have on defense, which will obviously help the offense. And I think they're going to be a great all-around team this year.
Yeah, not for nothing. Cooper was killing it last year.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper was absolutely killing it last year. Not only that, but you also have another McKinney was killing it too. So when you have somebody in the backfield and in the middle there doing what they have to do, you know what I mean? It gives a little bit of a scare to that QB of where they can throw the ball and how they can throw the ball within that mid range, and it kind of gives your defensive line a little bit more time to get pressure on the quarterback. So usually it goes hand in hand, and sometimes it's the opposite way. You want to make sure that the front four, wherever their base is, to get to the quarterback first, so you make the other guys look good. But in this case, these guys are just ranked so friggin' well that they give a little bit more time for the quarterback to try to look for an open spot because they don't allow it.
Yeah, and I think if with that secondary, the talent that they have, they can make the quarterback hesitate for just half more second, allows your defensive front to kind of get there and pressure. So A good combination.
Not bad at all. All right, you ready to disappoint some people?
Sure, I guess so. I don't know about disappointment.
That's all we do, apparently. So we'll throw this up there. All right.
All right. Your 2025 Green Bay Packers, week 1. I don't know how Jordan Love is going to come back if he has to miss time. So I'm going to stick with the Lions winning on the road in week 1. Week 2, you have the Washington Commanders visiting the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to take Green Bay early. I just don't think Washington's going to be as good of a team this year. I think there's going to be a slight regression there. Week 3, I got to take the Packers on the road. I don't like anything that's going on in Cleveland. Week 4, this is a kind of a tough matchup. I guarantee this is going to be in the afternoon slot on Sunday, but go and give me the Cowboys at home. I think they kind of squeak it out. Early bye week in week 5. Week 6, you have the Cincinnati Bengals visiting the Green Bay Packers. Going to give me Cincinnati on the road. Week 7, you have Green Bay traveling to Arizona. Going to give me Green Bay on the road. I think they'll upset the Cardinals there. Week 8, you have a Aaron Rodgers revenge game. I don't think Pittsburgh is going to have enough. Going to give me Green Bay on the road there. Week 9, you have the Panthers visiting the Green Bay Packers. I don't think the Panthers are going to be very good this year, so going to give me Green Bay. Week 10, potential NFC Championship matchup, maybe. Both teams make the playoffs. You have the Philadelphia Eagles visiting the Green Bay Packers. Going to give me the Eagles on the road. I just think that run game is going to be too much for them to handle. Week 11, you have Green Bay visiting the New York Giants. Going to give me Green Bay on the road. Week 12, you have the Minnesota Vikings visiting the Green Bay Packers. Going to give me Green Bay at home. Week 13, I still feel like they're going to split it, so going to give me Green Bay on the road. I think they'll beat Detroit there. Week 14, you have the Bears visiting the Packers. I don't know what to think about the Bears this year. I think they have a lot of potential, but going to give me Green Bay. I like them at home there. Week 15, you have the Packers visiting the Broncos. Going to give me Sean Payton and Bo Nix. I'll take them for the win there. Week 16, you have the Packers visiting the Bears. Division games are always kind of wonky, so I'm just going to go and have them split it. So give me the Bears at home. Week 17, you get your playoff chances dwindling. You have the Ravens visiting Green Bay Packers. I think Green Bay is going to take the win just because they're going to be desperate at this point. And then week 18, you have Green Bay visiting Minnesota. I think this is going to come down to a potential win and in situation. But going to give me the Packers on the road. I think they'll upset Minnesota there, and they will finish with an 11-6 record.
There you go. There it is. There it is, my friend. I like it.
Playoff-bound Green Bay Packers.
I like it. Oh, man.
The Wheel of Destiny never fails. That's going to be an interesting division. I mean, it's all going to be very interesting to watch this year. I think we have some good primetime games. I think we have some good. They set it up pretty nice this year.
Yeah, and we didn't even mention it too, but the two starting corners for Green Bay, they also came from Las Vegas. They're former Raiders.
Oh, they're ready to go.
So
they are ready to go. That's awesome, man.
So,
I mean, you can't go wrong with it at this point. You know, it's players are going to go where players got to get paid.
Yep.
All right, and that's just the way that it goes. Well,
fun times.
I mean, with that being said, the news is done. The battles are done. How many more predictions?
Oh, there we go. I think that was our 12th team, so I believe we have 20 more teams to go.
Okay. Well, for everybody looking for more predictions, stay tuned. Hit the follow button, the like button, leave comments, swipe up, leave a comment, hit the 5 stars. Make sure you tap everything you can with us. All right? And we We'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.